I think we're live. Going live. I think we're going live. What's up, dudes? Davidas, what's up, buddy? What's up, guys? Gary, Kerry, Paul Lou, Dan of NJ, Juan Blanco, Davidas. Yeah, I figured I'd do an unplugged. I never do acoustic. Figured I'd do an acoustic one. What was taking me so long was figuring a patch because I don't really have an acoustic amp. And it just took me a second to find a patch I liked. I kept going through going, nope, definitely not. Yeah, these are the Epiphone master builds. And these are killer guitars. Let me get my screen up so I can see what you're seeing, which is right there. Hold on. God, effing damn it. Here we go. Like under there, you can get this in a natural. I don't think you can see it here. But under this, somewhere in there, is a massive flame maple back and flame maple sides. But the spray on this particular model is so dark you can't see it. You can see it in sunlight because the sunlight can bust right through and reflect back some of the wood. But it's just not enough here. It's certainly not enough dynamic range on the camera to see it. But if I had to say one thing about the guitar, and they make it with no paint at all. They make it in just a natural, which is like gorgeous. It would be that they went a little too dark on the paint because it's got this gorgeous flame maple under it that you just can't see. Oh, Davisa says it sounds awesome. I wanted to do, I don't know if Davidas can hang out, but I wanted to do a little tribute to the Fools. Remember was the Fools a local band? But they had that song, Life Sucks, Then You Die. And I just heard it like this week. Someone probably played it because it's just apropos. And that was a huge hit in the mid-'80s. But it might have just been around Boston. I don't know if that was a national thing. It's a country blues, you know. Krellbar might know it because Krellbar is from New England. And they probably played it, you know, in Rhode Island stations. But the band was called The Fools. Krellbach says, yeah, the Fools were local. God, they were so good. So the guy was they were sort of like the original Steel Panther a little bit, kind of like, and I don't know if they sort of saw what Spinal Tap was doing and said, sure, let's do that. But the singer was this yuppie called LL Cool. He was the yuppie rapper called like LL Cool Bean, right? and they would do a joke where when the first song happened, the band would come out and they'd say, the singer's running late, but we got him on a cell phone, or we got him on a phone. And they would tape a phone it had nobody on it. It was a prop to the microphone. And he would sing backstage the song and they would filter it like it was coming over the phone. And then in the last, like, little bit, he would run out on stage, right? And it was this big setup bit. Yeah, the Fools. But they had a song called Life Sucks, Then You Die. And it was awesome. Now, someone wrote Psycho Chicken, but I thought Psycho Chicken was the Stools, right? Which was another band. Could have been the same guys. But they might have been a little bit worried about Talking Heads coming after them for Psycho Killer, right? Because Psycho Chicken was a spoof on Psycho Killer, right? Right? I don't know that was the Fools. I thought they called themselves the Stools for that one. Oh, yeah. My wife. Wait, how's it go? All right, hold on. We got to do this right. If we got to do this right, hold on. All right. It's because Dobby Dust is here. This is. All right, here we go. Check. All right, hold on. Calm down. It's just the normal noises in here. My hand. I'm gonna move that. Bring this out. I'm not crazy about where this cable is. I have to tilt it a little bit. The Ace of Spades. All right, hold on. Check. All right, so that's out. Check. Yeah, you can start to hear that. Check. 1, 2. Yeah, here we go. Check. Is that too loud? That too soft? Wait, hold on. We're getting there. I might have to call up the lyrics. Hold on. Now, it's just the Fools? Yeah, interesting. Hold on. I might have to call the lyrics up. Because I won't remember them all. Can you hear me okay? Is everything okay? Is that the movie preview in a world where Dobby Dust does a new show every night? And we can't wait for him to get back on the road again. Let me go to Ultimate. Probably have it on here. Yeah. Trying to type. I'm whackinsy, neckinsy. Oh yeah, right there. All right. Yeah, all right. You know what? Copy this. Copy. Paste and go to. All right. And then let me just bring this here. And then like that. Here we go. And just scroll that a bit. Move that here. Okay, we're good. Here we go. This is a song of hope. My wife burned. No, my wife. I'm already screwing the lyrics up. You know what? I'm going to do it finger style. My house burned down in a flash of thunder. My wife ran off with a one-legged plumber. Crops fell dead when the riverbed ran dry. My dog got hit by a pickup truck. My son went away and got hooked on drugs. Daughter's knocked up by the class of 85. People say that life is good, but it don't seem to me. I'm lost without a paddle, and I'm headed up shit creek. People say that life is fun, but I don't know why. As far as I can tell, life sucks, then you die. And then I think he modulates, right? The government dumps its toxic waste right on the top of my mother's grave. Team of experts tell me won't do her no harm. But my sheep went crazy and killed my mule. Cut off my dick with a power tool. Fixing a hole where the meteor hit the barn. I'm gonna try to do this without the laughing. People say that life is good. Give thanks for what you have. But when all you have is nothing, nothing makes you glad. People say that life is fun, but I don't know why. As far as I can tell, life sucks, then you die. We modulate one more time. G. I went to the store to buy some shells. I think this is the Bruce version. My gun went off and blew the owner to hell. Now I'm sitting here in jail singing this song. And one guy wants to cut me with a knife. Another guy wants me to be his wife. I'd wish they'd hang me. It was something really it goes wrong. People say that life is good and thanks for what you have. Nothing, I'm just going to the lyrics. Nothing makes you glad. People say, get the harmonies, that life is good, but I don't know why. As far as I can tell, life sucks, life sucks, life sucks, then you die. Can I get some yeehaws out there? Oh, that took a second to get going, but... All right, hold on. We're going to go back to the normal one. There we go. Back to my. Well, actually, let me do this. Oh, bring that up. We'll just turn that off. We'll give you the movie voice. Yeah, that song was a huge hit, and as Krellbar was saying, is a local hit, right? The Fools. Can I get a yeehaw out there? Yeah, the Fools. I'm telling you, Krellbar, they had a joke band called the Stools. I totally remember that. And it was a play on the Fools. They were doing a parody of their parody. Oh God, but it's just one of those things where all right, you know what, this is a little in my face. I'm gonna say bye to the radio voice and gonna move on. Somewhere in a world, Davidas. In a world where Davidas is playing guitar every night. All right, here we go. Davidas, seriously, I could totally see like a movie trailer with like Jill in like a total 70s outfit with the teardrop glasses. You know what I'm saying? And just I'm telling you, man, it could happen. NAMM 2024. All right, check. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. There we go. Sadly, this performance is only available on 8-track. Yeah, that's about right. That's the first time I've ever done that song. I was listening to it earlier, and I was sort of strumming around to it, but I couldn't even remember the lyrics. I had to look it up. We're just having a little fun. You know, we like to have fun. That's what we do. We're just having fun. Now I'm going to have the great moment of the show where I check my phone. Ah, God. You do voiceovers? I know there wasn't. I know it was. They had a band called the Fools, but I swear to God, they had another joke band called the Stools. I remember it on like BCN. Though it could have been that they just came in on a day and were like an alternate band for like a day, and were just goofing on the whole thing. I don't even know, but I remember the Fools, and the Fools had a bit of a career around here. You could just hear that song being a big drunk party, you know, Boston song. You know, life sucks and you die. Am I right, Billy? Right, I mean, God. But yeah, no, they were big around here. They had a following. Yeah, you know, Jay Giles, but Jay Giles was a much more national act, you know, like the Cars. You know, they were a local band, but they, you know, they're big time national. You know. It's in the range of Bruce Springsteen. I'm going to talk about Candy and Mandy and Sandy and Karen and Sharon. Nothing on their Wikipedia page about it. What's up, Christoph? What's up, Sean? We're all keeping safe. Everybody here is safe. We're all safe. Now I feel like after that microphone, you know what? Maybe it was just pointed away from me a little bit. That sounds a little better. The songs that comes to mind is Dead Puppies Aren't. That's right, Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun. That's right, I remember that song. Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun. Helps if you put your fingers on the right strings. That's real key to this. Play some America. America. Was it? Is it? America. Oh, I don't have the mic on. Fuck yeah, it's coming to see the motherfucking day, yeah. America, fuck yeah. Yeah. Someone mentioned Triumph. I saw their Live Aid performance recently. Oh my God, they kicked ass. That was such an amazing performance by Triumph, and that their set was just so good at that event, Live Aid. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you check out Triumph's performance in Live Aid. It is pretty damn good. Yeah, if you just want to talk about the master build just real quick, their Epiphone, I think they're under, I say they're under 700. I want to say they're like 650, 699, 650, somewhere around there. They're gorgeous guitars, solid tops, of course. This is the Sunburst, but you can get it in natural if you want the natural top and this like crazy flame maple back and sides. Hold on, wait, you having fun yet? It's an enormous, it's like a 17-inch bout. It's enormous. It's a jumbo. The cool thing is that it uses these way cool, like old-timey, these like old-timey tuners, but they're like, 14 to 1 or like 18 to 1 ratio, right? They've been completely updated for, 2016 or 2017, I think this model came out. And, yeah. And you know what? I'm not positive, but they may have been discontinued for 2021. So I'll bet you could get one for short money. Ebony fingerboards. These guitars are great. Don't bring it down. Don't bring it down. By the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Music loud and women walk. I can forget the lyrics. I was born sitting alright. You don't say, you don't look the other way. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on man. Whether you're a lover, whether you're a mother, you're still alive. The country version. In the city where I never thought I'd figure no, still alive. How goes the couch drama? We were shopping for more couches, but it's not a big opening. I want to say we might have at the Mac at the widest, the narrowest point, which is where you have to measure from. At the narrowest point, I want to say it's only like 31 or 32 inches, and that takes a lot out of the running because you need to have something when you bring it up there. can make it through that point without taking too much of a corner. Plus, the hallway ends just right there, right across the right. And so if you curve it into one of the other rooms, you have to take a break angle. It's a freaking nightmare. So we're going to see right now the dump, I think, starting today. I was up there this morning getting rid of, basically a carload of cardboard that's been sitting here for 90 days building up. I brought up all the cardboard today, and they look pretty crazy busy. They might be now starting to take items in bulk. I don't know. I wasn't there to do that today, but I'll get rid of the other one. But we actually looked at a couple today in Costco. Costco, they're pretty good, but we need white glove service because I don't want to lug it to the third floor, and they were only offering threshold service, and that will not do. I need somebody to schlep it up, What's the chords to Blaze of Glory? Yeah. What's it? I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely and sadly alone. Oh yeah, there's nobody, just me only, sitting on my little throne. Dominant 7 to the 4 major. Smartest, most clever, most physically fit. No, the first one is I work really hard and I make up great plans. Nobody listens, no one understands. Back to dominant 7. Seems like no one takes me seriously. Dominant 7, B flat, dominant 7, E flat, dominant 7. And then you go to the 2 chord, right? And so I'm lonely. Yeah, a little lonely. Poor little me. And then a turnaround. They do a different one, but I just do a 4 major minor turnaround. Right, because you get that little chromatic line. And then there's the second one. There's nobody. Oh, God, that's terrible. There's nobody I can relate to. That was just on recently. I feel like a bird in a cage. It's kind of silly, but not really. Right? Nice little turn on there. It's filling my body with rage. Back to the dominant 7. To the 4 major. Smartest, most clever, most physically fit. Nobody else seems to realize it. When I change the world, maybe they'll notice me. They have dual sigh. But until then, I'll just be lonely. Back to the 2 minor. To the 5 chord. A little lonely. Poor little me. Turn around. Bring that F sharp out completely. I'm so lonely. And scene. That just goes to show you, that song right there goes to show you the level of musicality of Trey Parker. Because, the guy went to Berkeley, and he was an arranging major. And I think almost anyone in Berkeley would tell you that's probably the hardest, or one of the hardest majors, because you have to learn parts for every instrument. So you have to start to understand the register ranges of all these different instruments and what textures sound well, sound good against other textures, and what's going to be the, and you can really hear that on these show style tunes that he cranks out. You hear it all the way through that movie. I mean, the soundtrack of that movie is half the goddamn movie. It's so, funny. It's like, I miss you like Pearl Harbor missed the mark. Right? I miss you like Pearl Harbor missed the mark. What the hell were they thinking? Right? About the movie Pearl Harbor? Ben Affleck needs acting lessons. This is an Epiphone. I do have a Larrivee, but that's all the way up in the attic. I wanted a nice acoustic for the upstairs, and that was the guitar I was worried would really get damaged down here. I didn't have the hooks, the hangers. I didn't have anything off the floor like I do now. So I brought the Larrivee to the attic, and I play this. I have a Framus Concert that I love. That's a fantastic guitar. And I have a Framus Parlor that I really like. And what else? I have an Ovation. That's probably quite frankly, one of my most played guitars, because it's right next to my desk. And it's all beat to shit. I think I paid like $50 for it in like 1986. Maybe $100 for it. And I don't even think that. I think like $50 to $75. And that's an Ovation custom balladeer, I want to say, or ultra custom balladeer. Ultra balladeer, custom balladeer. It's old. It's so old, the back is brown. The back isn't black, right? Brown backs are very old, much older than black backs. Robert Baker. Take it over from there. you pick that right up. I'll do the opening. I get the Farrington. We could play the Farrington. Haven't seen that in a while. Remember that? Remember the Farrington? It's going to sound disappointing after this though, because this is a big fat jumbo, and that's got a big fat bass. Actually, the Farrington is a maple back and sides. The top is spruce. That's hard. Would be cool to have Debbie Dust and Robert Baker on the screen, kind of like TikTok. I would love to do that. I did a little experimentation with what the hell was it? It would have to be a talking head, because I did some experimentation with the one with the duck there, whatever it is, stream duck, the stream goose, and it sucked. It combined the audio from the stereo into mono, and the phasing was so crazy. It sounded like hot garbage. So my worry is that you just cannot get decent audio, unless you're streaming through a stream deck like what I'm doing here. And I don't know that we can meet up anywhere that doesn't take everybody and sum them instantly into mono and like set up all these crazy gates on it. It's just like you wouldn't be able to really, do much, I think, in terms of like playing. And, that would be, I think, the whole point of it, right? I mean, we could get together and just talk, but I just think it would be far more interesting if we played. Yeah, what's a... helps it. Am I hitting it? Am I missing this? Check. Come on. Check. Hold on. Check. It's like, wait a second. That's why I wear headphones. Because I'd be like, where the hell did my voice just go? Hey, Jesus, did it go out again? Shit. Oh, yeah. It felt like it went out. Is it going out now? Am I just losing? Is this thing not going to work now? I feel like it's going out. On me here. You got a problem here? You going to have a problem? Huh? We're going to have... Oh. We're going to have a problem, bro? We're going to have a... Yeah, I feel like it's... Good. I feel like it's the battery, but maybe not. Maybe it's the switch. Sorry. Check. Need a little whacking? A little whack-and-see? A little whack-and-see on the switch-and-see? Check. It was still on. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I have this as a backup. Oh, shit. That's the minor version. Yeah, I feel like this is crapping out. Hold on. I'm going to change the battery. I should have a blister pack of batteries within arm's reach. That's pretty much my only play. Is to switch out the battery. If I have a blister pack, I should. Right there. I usually have one pack. Hold on. I'm going to turn this off because when I pop it gets real poppy in your ear. Hold on. Check. Hush. A little close up. Check. That does sound louder. Let's see if it lasts. If it doesn't last, then I know it's the mic itself and not the battery. Check. Went down a nails riff, was feeling about a half past dead. I needed a place where I could lay my head. I feel like it's losing it. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He smiled, shook my hand. No was all he said. Take a load off, Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Fanny. It's coming through there. Check. Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? You can show left hand, right hand. And you put the low right on to me. Is your new Les Paul Custom worth the money at $679? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I think so. Considering that the Gibson one is over $4,000, over $4,000. Yeah. No, I'm just looking at it here in the picture. No, they're amazing. I really like that guitar a lot. Great neck on it. It's like a beautiful D shape. You know, the what do they call that? The slim taper. And pickup sound good. I think last week when I plugged it in, people were like, "Oh, damn, that Epiphone sounds really good, man." Check. Is it still? It's still sometimes losing it. Check, 10, 12. Does a coil split? You mean this? The Epiphone? No. Sounding good? It's a tad weak. Yes, I'm a little down. Can I that a little better? A little better on the voice. The only thing I worry about is you'll start if I crank it up too loud, you will hear like every little breath. Right? You do need to have it at like a certain, like a little low, or else you're going to hear me breathing. Which is what happens when you put a microphone right under someone's face. You have to remember when they're on the radio, they have all kinds of noise gates. They gate the hell out of that. And they have de-essers. There's all kinds of things going on to cut down the breath sound. minor, then major. Life's been good. That's kind of hard on this. Yeah, Back for More and that Zepp song are strikingly similar. Yeah, the chords in the bridge section of 10 Years Gone are crazy. You wonder if that was John Paul Jones, right? I got to be careful with Over the Hills because they get you on that one. This is my own piece called Under the Hills and Very Close By. I don't think I know Life by the Drop. No, I'm sure I don't. All right, that's I think SRV I think of. Right. I'm gonna let me see how loose I can get this hand. I think it was a bad battery. Yeah, Girl from Oklahoma. I'm trying to remember that. Which is very similar. It's that's why that album is such a masterpiece. Well, John Paul Jones had a degree in arranging. Like he's the one who wrote all the string parts for like the Rain song, did all those massive arrangements. You know, Jimmy Page knew the blues riffs and all, you know, and came up with the riff stuff, but it was really John Paul Jones that was the played all those keyboards and the string arrangements and made those chord changes sound amazing. String gauge and action. Well, the action is great. Very low on this. String gauge, I have no idea. It's whatever that's stock. Just look up. I feel like it needs to be tuned again. Whatever the stock is. Whatever the stock is there, watch shot. I feel like that's a little, just a hair, just a tiny hair. Just a hair low there, hot shot. I actually have another one of these. I have 2 of these guitars. I have one to keep and one to give away. The problem is, it's taken forever to figure out how to give it away. And then COVID, and then... So I gotta figure something out. It's like whoever can meet me at Hooters. Meet me down at the Hooters and down by Legacy Place. Yeah. What an awful title. It's the title of a song. We played it earlier. It was by a band in the 80s called The Fools. And as we found out earlier tonight, they were a local band. And they had a kind of a comedy song about a guy who just has nothing but bad things happen to him. And the song's called Life Sucks, Then You Die. His barn was hit by a meteor. His wife ran off with a one-legged plumber. I mean, he had a series of catastrophic events. Yeah, Crazy on You. What is it? Is it G to F? Or is it E to F? Right. I don't even know that song. That's all just straight from the air. Trade you a bucket of steamers for it. Yeah. Yeah. This one's for Mandy. This one's for Candy. Sandy. And of course, Brandy. For Karen. For Sharon. Mark Maron. I was broke in the 80s, but I was happier. There you go. Yeah, what? They didn't run that far, no. Right, the world's fastest. Who does that? It's like you can't get that right. You got to get that right hand going. Dominant 7. No. What is it? I get a little black book with me poems in it. I got a little black book with me poems in. Got a bag in a suitcase and a comb in. When I'm a good no, they sometimes throw me a bone in. Got nicotine, elastic bands, rolling my shoes up. I got swollen hand blues. Go to comment 7 to the F. 13 channels of shit on the TV to choose from. I got wild staring eyes, like strong as to fly. I've got a amazing F. Where's the minor of observation? God, I love that song. Right? Oh, babe. Oh, babe. When I pick up the phone, there's still nobody home. That's such a great song. I mean, that was the last song he wrote for that album. They told him they needed one more song. He's like, all right, I'll give you your goddamn song here. And that's a great song. Great song to end it with, you know, just perfect. You know? Should play some Boston. I don't think of what I know by Boston. You know? PDX, what's up, buddy? See you, Stefan. Hey, Steve, my name is Cohen. I can't. Lilleveld? From Sauble Beach, Ontario, Canada. Been a subscriber for a really long time. Thank you. Love your channel. Love videos. Thank you. What are those Hughes and Kettner amps behind you? Okay, so right there is the Grandmeister 40, all tube, your all tube construction, 40 watt, and then above it is the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200. That's a 200 watt solid state amp using the black. Using the Black Spirit is the Spirit generator. It has like an analog way of creating the distortion and the tone. And that's it. And then below it, right there, is the Hughes and Kettner 212 cab, which I run them through. I switch off. I have a speaker cable in the back, and I switch it up. Do you know the search is over by Survivor? I do not. Play some Motorhead. You're on your elliptical. PDX says he's on his elliptical as I watch. I can't do ellipticals. I can do Stairmaster. I can do the treadmill, the bike, no problem. Ellipticals kill me. The back of my thighs, my hamstrings. I'm worn out in like 15 seconds. Acoustic Maiden. I don't think there's been a better time to buy guitars. You might be right on that. So it is a buyer's market. Terrible time to try and sell. What do you say? You want to stick with acoustic? We can switch up. It's the 8 o'clock hour. I've been liking the acoustic. Hold on, I have to cough here. Damn. Still have the Steinberger? I do. Time for some EVH on an Ibanez. That's funny. Hughes and Kettner, good for metal. Oh yeah, they have an Uber channel that's like an Ultra, I think it's called. It's way over the top. It's crazy, sick, heavy. It's almost a little too strong. They have 4 channels though, and each channel has a boost. It's really an 8-channel amp because the boost not only adds a lot more gain, it actually sort of mid-pushes the sound a little bit. So if you have it on, like, say, the clean channel, and you have the gain cranked up and the boost on, it's like a total crazy pushed, like, tweed style amp because it's trying to be clean, but you're just pushing the hell out of it. And then that just keeps going on, right? So with the crunch, you can actually get a pretty good lead sound because it's a big gain boost plus a big mid boost at the same time. And the same with the lead channel. All the channels are pretty good. So it's got, I think, clean, crunch, lead, and ultra, and they're all pretty damn good. You know, between the two, I think the Grandmeister has a tiny bit better sound because it's all tube construction, but you'll pay for that. It's more expensive, and it's a lot heavier and runs a lot hotter. If you want like 95% of the tone, right, but a lot lighter, cheaper, and runs cool to the touch, the Black Spirit is pretty much the same amp. Same 4 channels, same boost mode. They pretty much modeled it after the Grandmeister 40. So they're very similar amps, but I would give, for the tone, the warmth, and everything, I'm still going to give the Grandmeister 40 a little bit of an edge. Guitar switch, what am I going to? I got the Strat Select right there, you know. That's easy to get. What else? I don't know. What are you thinking? I got like 3 Volas here. I got you know what I got. Oh, the Rosewood Strat. Good choice, Robert. You know, I haven't had that one out in a while. You know, that's a good one. I haven't played that guitar in like 60 days, maybe more. I'm getting the Rosewood Strat. Hold on. Plus, I'm pretty sure I put a new set of strings on it not too long ago, like right, and then I promptly put it away. I'm going to grab the Rosewood. That's a good choice. That neck dough. All right. I probably have to tune it. I haven't I haven't had this thing out of the case in so long. Where we at? Welcome to the tuning channel. Almost there. Just A. Yep. I love the poly tune. All right. I found some new sounds recently. Let's go to the new sound. Oh, here's my standard. Here's standard Stevie. Wow, hold on. But I found some new sounds. Check these out. I thought were pretty good. So I think that's a modern Eddie. Power spandex. Kind of like that one. It's got a big chorusy sound. I've been doing this one. Kind of a simple sound. Here's another one. Feel like I'm out again. And then I really like that. I really like this sound a lot. This is another Marigold DB Mark. I think this is the closest to like a Van Halen tone. How do I get my streaming back up? Again, that sounds pretty good. That's of course it's going to be a little bright on the Strat. And then the last one is it's called Buttery Leaf. think it sounds great. I think the only change I made on this is I made the effects stereo, so here they are. Here they are mono. Although I guess even despite making it mono, it's still coming through a stereo. Here they are back to stereo. I guess if you do a stereo, even if you set it to mono, it still sets it up. That's interesting. In other words, the knob overrides the toggle. Anyway. No, these are all single coils. These are, I think it's the Fat 50 set, right? I think that's what comes in these. Hold on, flame cam. Flame cam working? Flame cam is working. Flame cam. Damn. Right there. That's your hot rod red there, hot shot. That's hot shot red. Hot shot. There she blows. Oh yeah. Nice. And then back here. Love that. Yeah. Yeah. So my standard sound, though, those are all new. My standard sound would be usually this one here. But I think on a Strat, I really like this one here. You know, it's just got a it's got a plexi in one of the ears. And a boogie in the other. I gotta get back to my... So those are the ones. I think this... The spandex was good too. It basically just sticks a big stereo imager on it, right? Because that was the sound. All right, this is a... fan favorite. And then this is the same kind of a similar, but with a completely different type of delay, you know. That's a good one. That's a good one there, Hot Shot. This is wicked over the top. We got a few in here. I kind of like in. That's just 3 items. That's a head, a cab, and a reverb. Steve, have you ever used the DiMarzio stack pickups for single coil slots? I've not used, have you used the DiMarzio? I've definitely used the Seymour Duncan. And I've definitely played the Yngwie pickups, which, and the DiMarzio Yngwies, which are a low output stack single coil, and those sound amazing. One of my favorite pickups. They don't make them anymore, though. The contract went to Duncan. So I believe they're pretty much the same pickup, but purists swear that they're not exactly the same. Yeah, so not a ton of experience with the DiMarzios, more experience with the Duncans, but, you know, they're all pretty damn good. You know, they really are. Nobody, you know, if crappy pickups tend not to last on the market, period. They're suddenly gone. Oh, man. Now I gotta get my pig. Feels out. There we go. Yeah, so this last, hold on, let me go to cam 2. Hold on. What am I, oh yeah, see, I ain't hitting that. What am I hitting that? Yes, you are, dummy. See this knob here? When you get all the way out, not this one, this was just normal knob, but not this one. This is a little different. This, when you get far all the way out to the end, click. There's a little magnetic click there. And that's a complete bypass of the tone circuit. And that makes it a little bright. I think backing off, see, it's a little, there it goes. Backing off a little bit makes it versus. It's subtle, but it's there. Some upstroke harmonics for you there. See you, Calvin. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Steve, what's the wiring on that called? Is it called, is it the tone bypass circuit? It's not the grease bucket. It's not the tone saver. They have so many different ones. It's, they have a name for it, though. I want to say it's like tone bypass or some crap like that. True tone. I mean, go to the marketing department. Because when you get to that very last notch, when you get to 10, it does click. It's like a little magnetic, and you hear this little click notch. And it completely bypasses the whole circuit. It's just a straight through at that point. So it's super bright because it's not going through any capacitance whatsoever. I like to back it off a little bit. I think it's a little bit better with just a tiny bit of capacitance on it. Triple bypass circuit. Thanks, Chris. No, you rock, buddy. Great Van Zaney, good to see you, buddy. Missed most of the epi. Can watch it. Hold on a second, I have to cough. We start out just having a little fun with a song by a local band called The Fools called Life Sucks Then You Die, which was, which was kind of funny because at the time it came out, we were like really not having any problems in America. Like it was like some of the better times in America, like in terms of the economy was doing well. And, the big competing song to that at the time was probably like Walking on Sunshine, right? Walking on Sunshine. Oh yeah. Right. Don't you feel good? Right? I mean, that's what you're dealing with. It was pretty mushy. They were very, very uplifting pop songs at the time. So yeah, it could have just been a goof on that, right? No, it's not TBX. I don't think so. A full throttle switch. Yeah, it kind of does sound. The blower switch, well, it acts like a blower, but not really because it doesn't bypass the volume knob. A true blower switch should wire the pickup directly to the output. That's what my Gibson does. That's not this. It's the only thing. It still goes through the volume pot it just doesn't, it completely bypasses any running through the capacitor on the, the cap on the tone knob. So let me ask, it's an acquired taste, and I would not be surprised if not very many people are into it, but anybody else here into Zippy the Pinhead? It's a cartoon I was into, growing up with newspapers, pre-internet. I think a lot of us read the newspapers as kids to read the comics. And when I was older, never really got Zippy for the longest time, but when I got older, I really got into Zippy the Pinhead. I just thought the whole crew, and what you realize is that the character, it says things that are just very like the character, and he's pretty much the master of the non sequitur. And I just sort of rediscovered Zippy in like the last week, and I'm just a huge fan of Bill Griffith. I want to hear go doo 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 doo. Yeah, it's like, Zippy was in the newspaper later in the Phoenix, now defunct. Yeah, no, it's hard. I mean, they lose ways to move, to get their stuff out there. And I've always been a little bit of a pop art collector, and I just follow the same rule that I've followed. It just get what you like, because even if it has no value, it still has value to you, right? Because you just happen to like it. So I was just I like to get, so I have like art from The Simpsons. I have original Simpsons art. I have original art from like Mad Magazine. What else do I have for original art? A lot of Mad Magazine from various artists: Sergio Aragonés, Don Martin, Dave Berg, and Al Jaffe. I don't have anything from Mort Drucker, sadly. He just passed away recently, so it's going to be increasingly hard to get anything, because the guy who drew for Guthrie Rankin, too, it's basically the guy who drew the storyboards for all the all those, what was it? Was it Bass Rankin Bass, right? It was like like The Night Before Christmas, and like Frosty the Snowman, all those puppet ones, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all those puppet ones from the 60s. All those models were based off of this guy's drawings, and you can see it later when you start to see the drawings. You're like, oh my God, that really is them, And he pretty much drew Frosty the Snowman, the animated part of it. It was, anyway. So my point is that collect what you like, and in that sense, I did reach out to the guy at Zippy Vision, and I had him just throw together, a little sketch. Try not to drop it here. Let me see. I might have to go to Cam 2. There we go. Something from Bill Griffith. I'm a fan. That's ink over pencil, and pretty damn cheap. Very inexpensive for a real hand drawing by the actual artist. What else do I have? Of course, once you get that, you got to get the other ones. Well, here's just a little bit of artwork for you, Mr. Toad and Griffey. Don't goad the toad. Anyway, again, I recommend, if you're ever going to get into art collecting, just collect what you like. And don't even think about collecting anything. It's so hard, to know what's going to do anything. And fashion comes... Just ask anyone who collects baseball cards. Or comic books. Because as those people get older, they're not... So, again, just don't treat it as as an investment. Just treat it as something fun. Yeah, Frosty. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The Rudolph and all that other stuff. You remember them. Yeah, Rankin Bass. Yeah. Yeah, so I forget this guy's name, but he was pretty much the guy who drew all that stuff. And when you look at, I have some of the drawings that he did for Mad. And the thing to do is whenever you get something that was in the magazine, I always try to make it a point to have a copy of the magazine. Right, so I have like a Mad fold-in from a magazine, like a giant poster, like the actual on bristle board fold-in. My big regret was not buying more of them, but they weren't cheap. They weren't super expensive, but they weren't cheap. I want to say I only paid like $200 or $300 for mine, but they had a couple that sold for $400 or $500 that I absolutely regret not getting. But I just didn't have the cash at the time. But for each one of those artworks, I make sure I have the issue of the magazine to go along with it, so I can say, well, here's the artwork, and here's the magazine that it was in. And just a couple other things when we're talking about the artwork. So, like a couple of those Mad magazine ones, I just really remember from when I was a kid. And, seeing like the actual drawing, a drawing I remember as a kid, like so vividly, because, there's no internet or whatever. You have a magazine, you're reading it for like a month until the next one comes out. So, you'd learn, you'd read these things, and once in a while you'd come across something that you just found like really, really funny. And it, for whatever reason, it just clicks with you, right? We'll cut to like, 20 years later, from 1979, when I'm looking at this stuff, to 1999, when like a ton of it was all over eBay. And I started picking up pieces, and this one guy had like an incredible collection of Mad art. It was just unbelievable how much he had, and it was real, and it was original. And I picked up like two of the most beloved panels from Mad magazine, things that I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh my God, there it is. There's that panel from like when I was like a 13 years old, 12 years old, and just thought this was like the greatest thing ever. And there it is. There's the actual panel right there, and I can buy it. And it was inexpensive, like $75 or $100. I bought it right up. I bought a bunch of them. So, at some point I'll have to go through my entire art collection, make a video about it, because, I don't have any, I don't buy anything worth really any money at all. But they're interesting, and if you're into Mad Magazine or you're into The Simpsons, I've got some incredible Simpsons artwork. I really do. In fact, I have, if you went to go work for The Simpsons to be an artist, you would get what's called a set of turnarounds. It's a big, thick packet that's photocopy. And I have photocopies. You don't get the originals. But I have this big, thick packet of, photocopies. And what it is on each page is each character broken down into their subsets, and they give you at I think it's 7 angles or 5 angles. They're called turnarounds, and they're just because they want it to be consistent, and they give you all these tips on how to draw. And you can see this is internal information This is all just for people if you went to work for the Simpsons. They give you all these, tips for how to do it. And it's really cool. It's about as cool as it gets, right? Because every little side character, Mr. Burns, full turnarounds, Barney, full turnarounds, and of course there's like an extensive booklet just on the Simpsons themselves, and these are big, like 11 by 17 printouts that the artist was to take home and figure out like how to do full turnarounds on every character. So, you pick stuff up. I probably got those in like 99 or 2000. Yeah, Dave Berg, Don Martin, Al Jaffe. What was the panel? Well, there's a couple of them. There was one, and it's too much to go through the whole panel, but there was one that I had called Double Pneumonia. That's sort of like the punchline of the thing, Double Pneumonia. I regret I never got Double Pneumonia. It was up there, and I didn't get it. But the other one was Thanks, Mom. That was a huge panel from the lighter side, like the lighter side of Jobs or Summer Jobs or something like that. And that one was awesome. I love that one. I have that one. And the other one was the lighter side of Obsolescence. And that one had, what the hell was that name? Oh, God, I can't think of the main character's name. With the glasses and the pipe. I can't think of it, but they basically, it has, it's like Dingleberry or something. They have the name for it. They like internal names for these characters. But I totally remembered that as a kid, and I own that panel. And then it's some I just bought on a whim. I have a postcard mailed from Don Martin to Sergio Aragones that's like all covered in amazing artwork that he just drew together, including a self-portrait of him by the pool. It's like amazing. 15-minute warning, damn. Yeah, I have a couple of Matt Groening stuff. I have another one when they came out with Bongo Comics. I have an autographed, beautiful lithograph signed by Matt Groening, and he draws a little Bart Simpson. I also have some original artwork from one of the David Silverman, who was one of the main producers on the show, and his artwork is stunning. And I have a picture. I have a wonderful drawing that he did in Sharpie of Mr. Burns saying "Baby gets nothing," right? And which is one of his famous lines. Run along, baby gets nothing. And bonus points if you know who he said that to. And and then the other one he had that I didn't get was McBain saying, "No, comma, you die." And I regret not buying that. Again, they're probably around $125 a pop, around 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. I wish I just bought them both. Spy versus Spy. The original Spy versus Spy was it Prohias was the guy's name, right? A Spanish guy, right? Jorge Prohias was the guy's name, I think. Those are very sought after and expensive. Those are rare. Anything Spy versus Spy is super rare. They brought in another guy to replace him, and that's why. If you have the original Spy v Spy, that stuff's worth a few bucks. Yeah, exactly. McBain, Rainier Wolfcastle. Boy, this guitar sounds good, huh? Which 5150, 6005, 6505 variant is the best? I'm not the right person to answer that. I have a 6505 plus right there, but I turn that thing on once every 4 years. You know, I never really do it. I play the Hughes and Kettners a lot more, and I play the Katana in the attic a lot more. And the amp I play the most is the Katana over by the bench, like nonstop. I love that amp. Yeah, Roger Kaputnik, thank you. That was it, Kaputnik. Roger Kaputnik, that was it. The guy with the glasses, right? The rectangular glasses and the pipe. Yeah, Kaputnik's in it, the recurring character. So he's in at least one or two of the ones I have, and believe it or not, it makes it worth a tiny bit more money. I used to buy Mad Mag and Eerie Mags, yeah. So the great thing about Mad was that, you know, in the late 70s, I was hanging out at, like, you know, the flea market. There was nothing to do all day. My dad he would sell stereo equipment at the flea market. And, you know, I'd get up at 4 in the morning and push that Volkswagen, my dad's Volkswagen bus down the street because the battery would be dead. Push it down the street and it'd pop the clutch to get it going, charge the battery up for the ride out to the flea market at 4 a.m. I'm pushing that goddamn van down the street, and then get in the car and drive to the flea market, set up your table by 5 a.m. We had to wait in a big ass line, get out there 5 a.m., and then stake your table, and then the place would open at 6 a.m., and we would have lunch around 8 a.m., and we already had breakfast at like 4, and then we were out of there by noon, like every day. And there would be guys there that would sell magazines, you know, wrapped in plastic. And I went to my dad, I go, give me money. And he's like, for what? And I said, a guy has a box of Mad magazines, and he wants, like, they're only like $1 a magazine, and $2 a magazine, and I want to pick a few out. He hands me a 20. He goes, walk up to him. He goes, oh, listen to me. Walk up to him, pull out that 20, and say, can I give you $20 for the whole box? And I was like, he's not going to do that. He goes, walk up to him and say, can I give you $20 for the whole box? See what he says. I walked up to him. I go, can I give you $20 for the whole box? He said, sure. I couldn't believe it. Big giant box. There had to be, 40 magazines in there. But we didn't have to worry about being picked through. And I walked back. I had a big smile on my face. I'm like, he did it. My dad's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm at a flea market. Hey, what's up, Peter? Yeah, Kaputnik was basically a self-portrait of Dave Berg. Yeah. I remember Mad and Cracked. Not so much Eerie. I was a big fan of National Lampoon. God, I used to read National Lampoon like crazy. And then to a lesser extent after that, there was Spy magazine. They were just trying to be National Lampoon. But really Mad magazine was where it all started. And I remember the first issue I ever got of Mad magazine was probably, I'm going to say, January 1976, because it had Jaws on the cover. I'm 99% sure it was January of 76, because it took them that long. The movie came out in July of 75, but it would take them that long to actually draw it, write it, and get it posted up and printed and then out in stores, for delivery. It took looks like a 6-month lag time. So I remember Jaws was on the cover, and I was just into anything Jaws. And I remember picked it up. I was like, oh, this magazine is just a giant goof. And I loved it, though. I was a huge fan of Mad. And I remember there was I want to say, what was the one after Jaws? There was a, oh, it might have been Close Encounters. That was the other big one I remember. Again, I'd kind of like really into the ones about the movies, right? Right? Yeah, the Jaws issue, right? Queen Meanie says, I was reading Dragon magazine and Monster magazines. I was also reading, at that time, Skateboarder magazine. You know, I was drooling over skateboards and Skateboarder magazine. And this is like Dogtown. This is really early stuff, like 77, 76, 77, somewhere around there. And what was the other big one back then? Skateboarder magazine, Mad magazine. And I didn't have a Monster magazine, but I had a Monster book. A one I actually found recently and bought off of Amazon used. I could not believe it. It was like a flood of memories getting that book back. It was like unbelievable. But it was all the classic Monster movies. Like Boris had a whole section, a chapter on Boris Karloff. You know, it had a chapter on Lon Chaney. You know, a chapter on Bela Lugosi. You know, all their characters through the years. It was, you know, Lon Chaney Jr. 5 minutes. Mad number 180, January 76. Dude, seriously. I mean, come on. I'm just saying I'd make a good witness. Mad Close Encounters, July 78, yeah. Yeah, Drucker drew it. Drucker was pretty much their main guy at the time for all the movie parodies, which is why they didn't happen that often. It was a huge undertaking to do those movie parodies. Yeah, and I totally remember the Star Wars one, too. My God. I want to say, I forget if it was the one that had, like, R2-D2, and that he had the top off, and it was Alfred E. Newman inside the, or if it was another one where it was Alfred E. Newman, and he just sort of looked like Darth Vader. That might have been the later one. I want to say the first one, it was like sort of like the cast, and they pull the top of the R2-D2 off, and it's Alfred E. Newman inside. Patriots and Bucks, so I'm still a Pats fan. See you, Blackjack. Have a good night, buddy. Yeah, that's right, Memorial Day weekend. Steve, where are your THU patches available? Yeah, someone, do you have them, Krellbar? Can you post them here? I don't know if did I give them to you? I forget. Yeah, well, I'll have to get those posted at some point. I'm sure there's an older one that I have posted. Remember when they had the parodies, they always had one or two drawings that matched the scene exactly. Yeah, and they would always sometimes they'd do a musical, and they would tell you the song that the musical was to go to, so you could sort of think of the song in the background. They would do that all the time, right? They would do musicals sometimes. Alfred and R2-D2 was the Mad musical parody, December of 78. So well, the movie came out, though, in 77. They didn't have a cover before that? I wonder if they had a cover before that, because the movie, so that, I want to say May, hold on. I want to say it was May of 77 that Star Wars originally dropped. So that'd be a year, almost 18 months later, if that's the first cover. I gotta think they did one before that. be a little old, but did you read heavy metal comics? I don't think I did. That came out, you're right, a little bit after my time. I did read Circus Magazine, though. God, and Hit Parader. Circus Magazine was basically like Tiger Beat for friggin' metalheads. Well, Krellbar says he doesn't have the patches. Let me, you know what? Let me save them. Let me go through, because I think there's a few patches that I have in there right now that unless you have like all the extra stuff, or at least one or two extra things, and some IRs, it won't work. Let me go through and clean it up so it works if you just have THU, just the regular THU, which is like 99% of the patches. And then next week, I'll throw them up there and we'll do a big patch party. Patch Party 2020. Registered trademark. All rights reserved. You missed my previous comment. First cover was January 78. That makes sense. Alfred in a Vader mask. That makes sense. I didn't know which one was first. Was it Alfred in the Vader mask? Or was it the group shot where they pull the helmet off? Right, Alfred in the Vader mask. Yeah, I remember. I totally remember it. I completely remember that. Because I got into them, well, January of 76 was the first one, and I just kept getting it month after month after that. I'm pretty sure I was working at my dad's shop every day, starting in 75. So that would be about right. I was 9. I worked there until I was 12. So that would be about right. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 4 years. Sounds about right. Yeah, Cream wasn't as, they didn't have it as much around here. It was really Hit Parader and Circus. All right? Those were really the ones. Cream was like harder to find. It just depended on the place where you went. You know? All right, dudes. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I got my family all locked up on the second floor. So we should probably free them out. I do love the color of this guitar. Let's just look at this one more time. Yeah. I'm going to say special thanks to Robert Baker for suggesting I take this out. I hadn't played this guitar in a while, and damn it, I love it. A great guitar. Very fun guitar. Lots of fun. All right, dudes. No. You rock. Thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate everyone. You're awesome. Oh, Circus was so cheesy. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. You read it today, it's a cringe fest. You're like, oh God. Oh no, it's cringy. It's the cringiest cringe that ever cringed. It is. You're like, what the hell is wrong with me? But at the time, it was like, damn, this is the greatest magazine ever. Can we have 4 stories about Kiss in this in this one? It's crazy. All right, dudes. You rock. I'll see you in a week. I should have time this week. I had a whole bunch of stuff I had to get out of the way this week. But it did, which is awesome. And I feel like I'm finally getting a grip on things around here. So I'm feeling good. Feeling good about video making again. So I'll see you guys in a week. And until then, have an awesome week. Rock on. No, you rock. I'll see you in a week. Later.